How's it going, guys? It's Jayson here, and today's video is going to be a special finals episode where, because we're only a week away from the AFL 2016 Grand Final and the teams have been decided, the Sydney Swans will go up against the Western Bulldogs. And for this video today, I'm going to go through the 2016 team coach cards, all the specials cards, or by the pop-ups and glow pop-ups, but the main ones. Of the two teams in the grand final, as well as the teams that both Sydney and the Doggies had to verse to get to the grand final in the 2016 final series. So let's get started on Sydney. Sydney finished on top of the ladder, tied with Geelong and Hawthorn, with 17 wins for the 2016 season, and only finishing on top by a percentage. So let's have a look at their road to the grand final. So the first match for GWS in the first round of the finals, Sydney actually lost to GWS to see GWS move straight through to the preliminary final, which would be up against the Doggies, which we'll talk about later in the video. But as Sydney finished in the top four on the ladder during the season, they get a second chance in the finals and were not eliminated by the loss to GWS. For GWS, I'm only missing the star wildcard, which is Dylan Shiel. So I was going to put in the 2015 star wildcard for the GWS, but that was Adam Treloar. And we all know he got traded at the end of last season to Collingwood. So I thought I'd throw in the 2015 Magic wild card, which is Toby Green, because he's had an awesome season. He got announced in the All-Australian team. And it's good to show a comparison between 2015 and 2016 Magic wild cards. So there's the difference just there. Sydney said that the loss to GWS gave them the drive to come out firing and to get the win in the second round of the finals to knock out the Adelaide Crows at the SCG. So it was Sydney's home game. So I'm missing the star wildcard for Adelaide Crows, so I put in the 2015 star wildcard, the captain, the skip, Tex Walker, which looks pretty cool there with it next to his captain's card. With the Swans' continued momentum from beating the Adelaide Crows, the Swans went on to beat Geelong Cats at the MCG in the preliminary final to move through to the grand final. I was at the Sydney and Geelong game, and it was disappointing to see how easily Sydney beat Geelong. Sydney kicked the first 7 goals, and there was really no point in the game where you thought like Geelong was going to come back to win the game. The Geelong Magic wildcard for 2016 I don't have, which is Paddy Dangerfield yet. So I just put in the 2015 Geelong Magic wildcard, which is Stevie Motlop. All right, let's have a look now at the Western Bulldogs 2016 final series matches to get through to the grand final. So the Western Bulldogs have broken the longest grand final drought in AFL VFL history. 55 years ago, in 1961, was when they were last in a grand final. And the Bulldogs won their last and only previous premiership in 1951. The Doggies finished in 7th place on the ladder in 2016, this year's season, and have been the most exciting team to watch in the finals by far, in my opinion. No team in AFL VFL history has ever won the premiership, finishing the season in 7th position on the ladder. The team who finished in lowest position on the ladder at the end of this season to win the premiership was Adelaide Crows back in 1998, in 5th position under the current Page McIntyre 8-team final system that was introduced in 1931. So this isn't 100% true, as Melbourne actually won the premiership back in 1900, finishing the season in 6th position. But this was under an old second finals format, and this final system was ultimately discarded after this unsatisfactory conclusion. So if you want to read up on more about the different finals systems over the history of the AFL VFL, I've attached a link in the video's description. So for the Western Bulldogs, I'm missing their 2016 Magic Wildcard, which is Jake Stringer. So I've just put in the 2015 Magic Wildcard, which is Marcus Bontempelli. And I think it's pretty justified because he's having an amazing season. The Dogs pulled off some of the most amazing wins of the finals to get through to the granny. In the first elimination round of the finals, they beat West Coast at the Eagles' home ground, which is one of the hardest, toughest grounds to beat a home team on. I just want to mention how good the team coach cards look when they're all the specials cards are together in their teams. Look bloody awesome. In the second round of the finals, the Bulldogs went on to eliminate the Hawks. The Hawks finished third on the 2016 AFL season ladder and had won the last 3 premierships in a row, and arguably one of the best teams in AFL VFL history. What made this win even more impressive was that it was done at the MCG, which is where the grand final will be played. So that match was great preparation for the Bulldogs for their grand final against the Sydney Swans. As we talked about earlier, with GWS beating Sydney in the first round of the finals, they moved through to the prelim final where the Doggies versed GWS, and the Doggies came out victorious only by 6 points in the preliminary final in an amazing game at GWS's home ground in Sydney to move through to the grand final. The Western Bulldogs were never favourites going into every game of the 2016 final series and were literally the underdogs, and each game came out with aggression and beat their competition. The Dogs have such an exciting, hungry young team and excellent coach Luke Beveridge and their coaching staff, and have done an amazing job to getting this team ready for finals. Considering the Dogs haven't been in the grand final since 1961 and haven't won a premiership since 1954, which was 62 years ago, I'm going for the Bulldogs in this grand final. So let us know what who you think will win the premiership out of the Dogs and the Swans, and who you're going to be barracking for. And I hope you have an awesome grand final day, and hopefully it's a close game and really enjoyable to watch. I'm sure it will be. Yeah, if you like this video, thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for watching. And I'll have some new videos up soon. See ya.